Joining us now, Allie Jasper, Public Information Officer with the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency. Allie, thanks for joining us on Middays. Give us an update on how things look there on the ground after these tornadoes ripped through the state this past Friday.
All right. Well, thank you for having us. Just wanted to give you an update on some numbers right now. What we're seeing, and these are just preliminary reports that are coming in, over 1,900 homes from this event have some type of damage. So that can be anywhere from just a few shingles that are missing to completely destroyed. So a lot of people across the state were affected by these storms and are definitely needing some help now. What I do want to say is it's encouraging to see all of the volunteers that have poured out to come help and that are there on the grounds working. It is going to be a combined effort between our federal partners, the state partners, and on the local level, as well as just businesses and other people who have stepped up to volunteer.
Is there anything, Allie, that the average person can do that feels compelled to help, wants to do something? What's the best way to do that?
Absolutely. Well, the American Red Cross and the Salvation Army are on the ground right now doing sheltering and feeding efforts. So that's a great place to start. We also have several donation sites across the state that are open and people can go there to donate as well. Right now, they are overwhelmed with water. They're not taking any more clothing. What they need now are things like diapers, pull-ups, infant cereal, plastic cutlery, toilet paper, things of that nature. So if you want to, you can go to msema.org. You can find that list of donation sites and drop off things there.
Yeah. It's been rumored at least that the areas affected have received so much water. And that was, of course, one of the first things you need. Humans just need water. There's so much there they can't even get it out.
Yeah, there is a lot of water. That's one of the first things that is gone out in these disasters. But there is a lot of water there right now. So we want to make sure that it's not wasted. So right now, another thing that people need, if you think about it, those with medical issues, diabetes and things, they need sports drinks, Gatorades to make sure that their sugar levels are where they need to be.
Yeah, it's a good point as well. And I think I saw where Commissioner Cheney issued an order directing insurers to, I guess, just expeditiously handle filling of prescriptions and so forth and not wait for prior approval and I guess some of the other red tape that's typical just to make sure people have the prescriptions they need. They're without that right now.
Absolutely. And in an emergency declaration, you can cut through some of that red tape that is up to get things expedited like that. So that is at least one good thing. Of course, we're not excited that this tragedy has occurred, but that is at least one good thing is that we can expedite those things to where we are directly helping the people on the ground and those who have been affected by this.
Yeah, so and you touched on it earlier. So at this point, MEMA is working, I assume, with FEMA, the Red Cross, a number of other organizations as well. Help us understand kind of what that looks like. What's the operating model there? Is there a particular organization that kind of takes charge and directs and orchestrates, or is it just a full collaborative effort?
It is definitely a combined effort between FEMA, MEMA, the local emergency management agencies, as well as volunteer groups and business who have stepped in. This is going to take everyone to recover from. I do want to say anyone who is maybe listening that does have damage to their homes, you can go ahead and apply for assistance. See if you qualify. You can do that by going to the FEMA disasterassistance.gov website. There's also a number, and you can download the FEMA app as well. There are several types of assistance that FEMA is offering. So you can go ahead, start that application, get in, see what you qualify for. All of that is on msema.org as well.
Yeah, and so I believe as well that the state government has tapped some emergency funding that's also been made available to those who were impacted. Is that true? And are you familiar with that? Is there a process for that?
That would be from the governor. So you would have to get that from him.
Okay.
As far as MEMA is concerned, there are multiple hands on deck that are making sure that these people are getting the help that they need when they need it.
And we should keep in mind, should we not, Allie, that right now there's a high degree of focus on it because this tragedy occurred less than a week ago. But this is going to be ongoing. The impact is going to be felt for a long time. There's going to be lots of need to recover these communities.
Oh my goodness. The city of Rolling Fork will never look the same. You're going to rebuild that from the ground up. This is not something that's going to happen overnight, of course. It's going to take months, it's more likely years to recover from this event.
Wow. And we've also seen our federal delegation has been on the ground as well, and I'm sure they're in contact with the Biden administration to ensure that all resources are made available. I saw a report late last night that apparently the president is headed to the area, I believe tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So will there be some communications there with folks from the Biden administration over and above, with the president coming over and above what's already been transpiring between MEMA and FEMA?
Absolutely. There is no timeline on the presidential visit as of right now. We will update people on that when it comes. Right now, there's not a timeline on that, but yes, he is expected to visit the area tomorrow.
Yeah. And I've said it on the show a few days ago. We're calling on the private sector, our faith communities as well, to do all they can. Not that many haven't. I'm certainly aware that many have stepped up, and we're very grateful for that. But this is a time when we just can't rely 100% on government to help out here.
Absolutely. And if we just take a look back at Katrina, just because that's where our minds go to with this sort of devastation, it did take those faith-based organizations and volunteer groups to recover from that. It's going to be an all hands on deck thing to recover in these communities.
It's heartbreaking for sure, and you can't help but also bear in mind that this is one of the most impoverished areas of our state and of the country. So a lot of these folks really don't have insurance, don't have a lot of spare safety net type resources to rely on to rebuild their lives.
Right. And I just want to say, MEMA already has boots on the ground. Help is there. More help is coming. There will be housing initiatives that come along with this. All of it is in motion to get those people the help that they need.
Yeah, that's awesome. It truly is. This is not something you guys ever expect, but this is what you're trained for. This is what the team's trained for. This is when they spring into action. Seems like we've had more than our fair share, doesn't it, Allie, the last few years here?
It absolutely does. And you're right. This is what we pray does not happen. But the day is here. It's happened. We're ready. We've got all the people in place to make sure that we're giving the best help that we can.
And it's a 7/24 effort, right? You're not just working, say, a business hour type schedule. I mean, the staff, it's round the clock.
Absolutely. There is tons of people here at the State Emergency Operations Center that are making sure that people are getting the rest that they need and tapping other people in. But yes, it is a 24/7 operation.
Because I know many of them work overtime as well. They don't just work their limited sort of standard work hour shift.
Absolutely
they
not.
work before and after that, a lot of overlap because the task is so large. The task is so large. Are
The
you
task
working
is large. The need is large.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And are you working with your counterparts in other states as well, or are they offering assistance? Are you calling on them to help out?
Yeah, so in emergency management, we have something called the EMAC, which is the Emergency Management Assistance Compact. That basically is just saying that all of the states have an agreement that if we need each other, we can call on each other and they will come help. And I will go ahead and say that we have had some people that have EMAC to our state from other states that are here on the ground to lend their assistance and their knowledge on how to get this going and how to make sure that we are giving the people what they need.
Gotcha. Allie, thanks so much for calling in and giving us this update. Really appreciate that. Appreciate all the efforts of the great team at MEMA. God bless them, and we continue to pray for those affected. Thanks a lot, Allie. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Okay. It's just, I've been on the ground. I've seen the devastation, and it's overwhelming. But I think for our state, what is more overwhelming, and we see this time and time again with every single disaster, is the Mississippians who put their own jobs and their own schedules and their own needs aside to stand up and help our neighbors. And I just think if this is what it takes to get there, we don't want it, but it's so encouraging to see. And I just love to see that Mississippians continue to do what Mississippians do.